Buddhism. In Buddhism, the teaching of anatta, meaning no self, is central. The Buddha taught that there is no permanent, unchanging self or soul. Instead, what we think of as self is merely an illusion created by 5 constantly changing aggregates, which are the body, feelings, perception, mental formations like thoughts and habits, and the awareness of general reality. This understanding is crucial for attaining enlightenment, as clinging to the idea of a permanent self leads to suffering. Through practices like vipassana meditation, practitioners observe their thoughts and sensations, seeing their impermanent and interdependent nature, thereby gradually letting go of attachment to the self and achieving nirvana. Hinduism. Unlike Buddhism, Hinduism teaches that there is a true self and a soul, called Atman, which is identical to the ultimate reality, called Brahman. This is a key concept in Advaita Vedanta, a non-dualistic philosophical school. The Upanishads, ancient Hindu scriptures, describe soul as the eternal, unchanging essence within every being, while Brahman is the infinite, transcendent source of all existence. Practices such as meditation, yoga, and devotion are aimed at realizing this unity. Through disciplined spiritual practice, individuals purify their minds and bodies, eventually experiencing the profound truth that Atman and Brahman are one, leading to liberation from the cycle of rebirth. The main idea is understanding that the soul is one with the supreme consciousness or the universe, is finding God or liberation. Sufism or Islamic Mysticism. Sufism focuses on the inner, mystical path to God through love and devotion. Unlike Buddhism and Hinduism, this concept does acknowledge that there is a self but doesn't follow the norm that the self is one with the universe. Instead, Sufis seek to purify their hearts and attain a direct, personal experience of the divine being. Dhikr, the remembrance of God, involves repetitive chanting of God's names and is a central practice. Sufis also engage in music, poetry, and dance, like the whirling of the dervishes, to transcend the ego and experience divine love. Spiritual guides play a crucial role in mentoring disciples on their path. The ultimate goals are annihilation of the ego and subsistence in God, where the self is dissolved in divine presence, leading to continuous awareness of God. Christian mysticism. Christian mysticism seeks union with God through inner transformation and contemplative practices. Mystics like Saint John of the Cross and Saint Teresa of Avila describe a spiritual journey involving stages like purgation, which is cleansing of sin, illumination, which is receiving divine light, and mystical marriage with God. Contemplative prayer and deep meditation are key practices. For example, the Jesus prayer involves silently repeating a prayer to focus the mind and open the heart to God's presence. The goal is a profound union with God, often described as the soul's marriage to the divine, where one lives in constant awareness and love of God. In this concept, it is believed that one should find guilt and sin, repent of this sin and open his heart, allowing the divinity of God to come in. Taoism. Taoism emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao, the fundamental principle underlying the universe. The concept of Wu Wei, which is effortless action, is central, encouraging individuals to align with the natural flow of life without force or resistance. The Tao Te Ching by Laozi and the writings of Zhuangzi are key texts that offer wisdom on living simply and naturally. Practices include meditation, Tai Chi, and Qigong, which help cultivate inner peace and balance. By living in accordance with the Tao, one experiences a deep connection with the natural world and an inner tranquility that comes from moving effortlessly through life. Zen Buddhism. Zen Buddhism focuses on direct, experiential realization of one's true nature. Through seated meditation, practitioners observe their thoughts and sensations without attachment, aiming to see through the illusions of the mind. Koan's paradoxical questions like what is the sound of one hand clapping are used to break habitual patterns of thinking and provoke direct insight. The goal is satori, sudden enlightenment, where one perceives the true nature of reality directly. Zen emphasizes simplicity and immediacy, encouraging practitioners to experience each moment fully and to see the interconnectedness of all things. Kabbalah. Kabbalah explores the mystical aspects of Judaism, seeking to understand the nature of God, the universe, and the soul. Central to Kabbalah is the study of the Sephirot, 10 divine attributes through which God interacts with the world, represented by the tree of life. Kabbalistic practices include meditative prayer, visualization, and chanting sacred names to achieve deeper spiritual insights. Texts like the Zohar offer mystical interpretations of the Torah, revealing hidden meanings and guiding seekers towards spiritual enlightenment. The concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world, reflects the belief that humans can restore divine harmony through their actions. The goal is devakut, a deep, intimate connection with God. Inasmuch as it's quite fascinating how all these religions have different theories on finding God, these only apply to when one is alive, and life itself is only just a short period of time. What comes next after we die? Check this video if you want to know.